Ladies and gentlemen, the first of the academic procession has arrived. Thank you for being with us and congratulating our new graduates.
Dear seniors, we cannot imagine what you must be feeling right now. We had all looked forward to this day. Cornell launches you now into an uncertain time, an era which, in the words of one famous Cornellian, desperately needs your talent, energy, resolve, and character now more than ever before. Yet in the months to come, if you find yourself at the end of your collective strength, find hope in what your circumstances can't touch. Your shared memories at Cornell, and the resolve that you have been equipped for such a time as this. And so, to remind you of all the good that has transpired on this peculiar chunk of hilltop, here is a sprinkling of memories to rekindle hope and extinguish any measure of doubt you may have in your worth or our ability to endure. Whatever comes your way, this is who you are, and this is where you come from.
After my first visit to Cornell, I knew that it was right for me. And of all the things to convince me, it was a simple nap on the slope. Waking up with the warm summer breeze blowing through my hair, the lake glimmering in the distance, and the rolling hills of Ithaca thriving in green, I felt deep down that this was the place for me, that I just had to spend the next 4 years here.
Freshman year, I celebrated my 18th birthday after a jam-packed day of classes and club meetings. When I got to my dorm, one of my friends was waiting at the entrance and walked me up to our unit. My roommates had organized a surprise party for me. I was so shocked, especially since I'd only known them for a few months. It was such a touching moment, and whenever I think back on it, I remember feeling the sense of belonging and feeling loved by the people around me.
Sophomore year during finals, my best friend and I were so tired of studying that we chose a random building to explore. Everyone else was intently studying, and we were walking around, bouncing an inflatable beach ball. I think we covered every floor, corner, and lounge of the building that day, including the top floor lecture room, where we played volleyball and pretended to be professors.
Gorillas.
We didn't get a lot of work done, but it was a good impromptu, stress-induced, and stress-relieving break during finals week.
My friends and I spent the night in a CKB lounge during finals week. We had a table full of snacks and even brought our sleeping bags. Although the studying was brutal, there was such a sense of camaraderie within the group. We all woke up laughing at each other, realizing the ridiculousness of the situation, and filled with the joy of being with good friends.
This was where I took Chinese 1110 and where I met two really good friends, one of whom is now my boyfriend. The room itself isn't anything particular, but the bonds I made through that class were the catalyst to a complete shift from a relatively lonely freshman fall. Through them, I discovered a group of Christian friends that made me feel welcome and loved, that I grew really close to, and through which I eventually found God for myself.
Perhaps this is a really cheesy thing for me to say, but Temple of Zeus has been the epicenter of so many precious memories. I know it gets the rep of being a humanities only hangout, but you never know who you'll run into. Secrets were shared, tears were shed, and many an essay was written in between BLT sandwiches, iced vanilla lattes, and a rotating gauntlet of kombuchas. I'll miss fighting for one of those porcelain tables and the few times I've made a friend by sitting in a vacant spot during the lunch rush.
One of my favorite Cornell memories was when I celebrated my first job offer by meeting up with my boyfriend at the clock tower and sitting on the ledge of Yura's library, taking in West Campus. We sat together, letting the warm sun kiss our faces, and just enjoyed each other's company.
So my BFF is the craziest human ever, and I adore him. Many of my favorite memories are us doing ridiculous things. One time, he rented a Lime bike, and I rode on the back, holding onto his shoulders, and we went down the slope without using the brakes. It was terrifying and exhilarating, and my Cornell experience would have been so dull without him.
My most influential Cornell memory has to be my a cappella group's 50th anniversary. A majority of the alumni, including the founder and many original members, returned to campus. We all wore different colored striped rugbies, and when we walked out on stage, it was just a sea of rugbies going back several rows of the hall.
One of my favorite memories was in the last few days on campus. All of my friends were together on the slope, reminiscing while watching the iconic Ithaca sunset. No matter how stressed I've been or what I was going through, the Ithaca sunset has made me feel better. It's reminded me to make the most of my time here. So when you see a sunset while studying, stop. Call your friends and watch. Cherish your moments in one of the most beautiful places in the world with your Cornell family.
In the series finale of The Office, Andy said something quite profound. While thrilled about his new job, he was suddenly overwhelmed with nostalgia. He said, "I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them."